That was the first show we did at the ballpark.
Yeah.
September 3rd, 2004, Bricktown Ballpark, Bob Dylan, Willie Nelson.
And they were doing
Baseball stadium.
Jam Productions, yeah. They was doing baseball stadiums. Wasn't they giving away bats to all the promoters?
Yeah, David has a glove and a bat or a bat and a ball or something like that. Yeah.
This my job for this right here, I did labor, but like I said, I'm a huge Bob Dylan fan. Huge. Hero. Name a kid after him.
This was an intense show to do.
Right.
Because it was the first show they did out there on the turf. Remember the groundskeeper guy?
The groundskeeper
God.
was all groundskeepers I've ever dealt with on grass, they are insane.
Because that grass is that grass.
Well, I mean that's their playing field. That's their job, you know. And I learned a lot about stuff like that, going through the ballparks and all that. But with this show right here, you know, first off, we had to be on point because we were actually getting something to do other than a small club show, other than an arena. You know, it was coming into a whole different realm of league. Most of
the time when you do a show at a baseball stadium, football stadium, you try to assemble as much of the stage as possible that you can just roll it in and drop it in place.
Not with this one.
But at this ballpark, you can't do that.
No.
They didn't take that into account when they built the structure.
You have to go underneath everything.
When you do ballpark shows, and this one right here especially, there's one way in and one way out, down a tunnel, make a turn, you're onto the field, and if you miss the turn, like somebody did driving a forklift and made a $15,000 mistake because they plugged the forks right into somewhere where
the air conditioning ducts were running in the corridors underneath, and right beside the air conditioning duct was the sprinkler system, and the forklift went into the sprinkler system and the air conditioning duct,
and so that's the first of the beginning. But you know,
and that's a major deal.
Right.
I mean, you've got water everywhere. It's going in the air conditioning duct. You know, this is the first show they've ever done there. You want everything to go perfect. This is not going perfect. And then you start
off with that. You know, and then so my other job, you know, and this is when the Baker boys were starting to really come together. We hadn't had a name yet. We were just a bunch of dudes doing shows. And
actually, I think Christina brought the labor in on this, didn't she?
Not all of it.
Or was it you and Christina?
Yes.
Because I remember when later on, the other thing that happened when the forklift hit the car or whatever, it was
on her.
Yeah, I remember that part was on her.
We had certain entities of it, but my sole job was I had one job to drive a van that sat up there all day long, 15 passenger. And it was like at 6 o'clock, I had to be in this position and sit there. No air on, heat run. I mean,
very specific instructions.
You know, sit there, car running, no air, no music, nothing. Oh, yeah, by the way, you're taking Bob Dylan down from his bus to the stage. No problem. Now I'm shitting myself. My hero's getting in the car. And you need to do two things. Don't look at him. Don't talk to him. And, you know, and so, okay. But
I see it now. Bob Dylan gets in the car and Max says, "You want to meet the band?"
No, but you're taking the royalty down a block. You don't, and you've seen somebody ran a fucking forklift into the thing, and you know the last thing you want is you know, hey dude, you could go to prison for your life, and you're taking Bob Dylan down here, and all you need to do is fuck up between here and there, and you're done.
He leans forward,
and so
you would have been done at that point.
He gets in the van and leans forward and goes, "Hey, I remember you from the road case behind the curtain."
But you know, and so that's not, you know, this isn't the first encounter that I'm going to have with this dude. So the band gets all in and they're waiting, and they leave one seat. The seat they leave is the seat right behind right in the middle of the driver, and that bench seat where if you look in the rearview mirror, you're staring at the dude. So he gets in.
And that's how the baseball mascot got ran over.
He gets in, sits right there, and it's like, so, but it seemed like the longest ride from the top to the bottom.
Down that tunnel?
Down that tunnel.
Thank God
That's not a real wide area either.
No,
it's
I mean,
not.
back then too, and it don't matter what baseball park you go to, because we've been to a few, there's always shit in those halls.
Always.
Always, because I mean,
Dippin' Dots and all kinds of
just
cars and
miscellaneous stuff, groundkeeping stuff, dirt. I mean, you never know.
I mean, it's we see it day in and day out. Just like with those groundskeepers being anal.
It was all wet because we hit the sprinkler line, but yeah.
I mean, and so I can also remember at that show where the security guard put his chair in center field.
Oh yeah.
And we had this ground. Well, I don't want to call him what to be. Y'all will get all freaked out. So let's just call him a grass vigilante or something. But he would
grounds police.
He would go around and look. And this dude had put one of them chairs in the center field and had made indentions. And he'd sit out there because he was security. But guess who got the blame?
You did.
The Baker boys. We did it, and it came down to like finally, and you know how, and when you're building a stage like this, they're so huge. Here's the thing. The day rolls into the night. The night rolls into the next day. The next day becomes a blur, and you're just winging it till you're done. I mean, Jam Productions was very good to me, and that, they were good to Dave as well.
But that was the very first one. I also remember that night, Dennis back in the forklift into the sheriff's daughter's car or whatever. At the top,
and then
top of the ramp.
Here was the worst part. You had to bring everything up to the street, which they blocked off. And back then in Bricktown, they didn't really have any direction, any cops blocking, whatever. So you were pretty much open season of them running down that street right before IHOP. I don't even think IHOP was there.
IHOP is not there.
But the bottom line of it is that was our working area. So not only did we have to work with this, we had to dodge moving traffic as well.
Well, after the show, that didn't work out so well. The forklift driver was backing out of the hole and rammed right into sheriff's daughter's car, and that turned ugly. So our first show at the ballpark had a few hiccups.
Its moments,
but it was a cool show. Bob Dylan, Willie Nelson.
Yeah,
Well, guys,
hey, listen, you were always on my mind.